Keenan Allen. Now, this isn't technically a top 10, but Keenan Allen is about to hit the 1,000 reception mark. There's only 15 players in NFL history that have had at least 1,000 receptions in their career. Welcome to Just the Stats NFL, the show that covers the NFL statistical leaders from the all-time greats to the current players leading the NFL. I'm Ernie Jennings, your host. And in this podcast, we'll be looking at the Commanders versus the Chargers this Sunday. It's a late afternoon game. And as I mentioned in the previous podcast, I am changing it up a little bit. Instead of focusing so much on trying to figure out who's going to win the game, I'm going to focus more on just the stats and who's doing well as far as stats go for every team, kind of like that. I'll go through the top 10s that you should be watching for. Top 10 players to watch for in this game will be kind of a category, and then I will look at players for each team, and then we'll give you my very quick synopsis of who I think is going to win. Also give you a little update on injuries. So that's going to be it. There's a lot of podcasts that analyze the game, who's going to win, why they're going to win. And I didn't want to do that. I really like the stats. And so since it's my podcast, kind of just going to do it the way I like, and hopefully you like it as well. It's just a little different. I'll try to keep them short as we go through these numbers. So then you can move on to the next one. So we do have the Washington Commanders at the Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers are the home team. They are 3-1. Lost to the New York Giants somehow, so they now are 3-1. All right, let's see. Top 10 to watch in this game here. We'll start with Keenan Allen. Now, this isn't technically a top 10, but Keenan Allen is about to hit the 1,000 reception mark. There's only 15 players in NFL history that have had at least 1,000 receptions in their career. Only 15 in all of the NFL. He's only 2 away. He has 998. So I'm assuming that in this next game, he will get at least 2 more to move into the top. He'll be now number 16th player to ever have at least 1,000 receptions. The only active player on this list other than him is Travis Kelce. So he's in excellent company. I mean, this is future Hall of Fame category here, 1,000 receptions. So I just thought I'd mention it. It's a huge career achievement to be able to hit 1,000 receptions in your career. All right. As far as the Los Angeles Chargers go, he's the only top 10 that we're going to be watching in this game. Now, when we move on to the Washington Commanders, we do have tackles for loss. And here we do have another NFL type record that Von Miller is working on. He is getting up there. He hasn't played as much, but right now he is tied 6th all time in NFL history with Levante David, another active player. They're both in 6th place. They have 172 tackles for loss each. So whichever one can get a tackle for loss, they could pull into 6th by themselves. They're both chasing Julius Peppers, who played from 2002 to 2018. Julius Pepper has 175 tackles for loss, so only 3 away. But like I said, Von Miller especially hasn't played a lot in any of his games, so he's only had 1 tackle for loss so far this season. But 1 more, and he does move into 6th. That's all depending on what Levante David does. That is all the top 10s to watch for. Von Miller and Keenan Allen. All right. In this game, McDaniels, the quarterback for the Commanders, will be playing. So that's good news, as will the wide receiver, for them, and my mind went blank. Let me look real quick. I don't know why my mind. Deebo Samuels. I was twisting his name all over the place in my head. Deebo Samuel's also going to be playing, but Terry McLaurin is going to be out again with his quad injury. So that does hurt the Commanders. Commanders lead this series 7-5. All right, let's look at some of the numbers here. Look at the quarterbacks. We'll start with that, the two teams' quarterbacks. Well, right now, for the right category here, for the Chargers, Justin Herbert's the 19th ranked quarterback as far as quarterback rating goes. When you look at that number specifically, he's got a 92.2 quarterback rating right now. Started off pretty hot. He's kind of slowed down. He has passed for over 1,000 yards, so he's averaging over 250 yards a game. He's got 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's been sacked 12 times, a little bit much there, three a game. But he has been pretty good for them. Looking at Jaden Daniels, he is the number 20 ranked. He's got a 90.8 quarterback rating, so they're very close. Now, Jaden Daniels obviously only played 2 games so far. Hopefully he comes back and looks good. So he doesn't have the same type of stats right now. He's only averaging 216 yards a game to Justin Herbert's 265 yards a game. All right, looking at the running backs for the two teams, Omarion Hampton is the 13th ranked running back. And for the Chargers, he's got 270 yards rushing. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. So not bad as far as that goes. And then the only other running back that they have that ranks anywhere in the top 60, actually even farther than that, but it's Justin Herbert. He's got 93 yards for the team. So this is really Omarion Hampton's backfield to dominate, and hopefully he does, and hopefully he can hold up for the entire season. Now, on the other hand, when you're looking at the Commanders, they're all over the place. Jacoby Krosky-Merritt is the 30th ranked running back. He's got 172 yards right now. He's got a good average, 5.9 yards per rush. But that's it. He's rushed the ball so far 29 times. He's had 29 carries. So when you look at it, you've got 2 more than you've got Jeremy McNichols, who's had 10 carries for 106, and you've got Chris Rodriguez, who's had 18 carries for 98. They all have really good averages, over 5 yards a carry. Obviously, Jeremy McNichols had that 1 carry for 60 yards, which really skews his numbers. So there is no dominant running back here. If you're into fantasy, you're probably not going to pick any of them unless you're just going to shoot for the moon. If you did, you'd probably go with Jacory Krosky-Merritt. All right, looking at the wide receivers, this is again where the Chargers really dominate in this category. They have right now the number 5 wide receiver. Going into the season, you would have thought it would be McConkey. That was the guy that was being touted preseason as the number 1 wide receiver for the Chargers. He's not even the second best. But Quentin Johnson right now, 22 receptions for 337 yards. He's the 5th ranked wide receiver going into this weekend. Already has 4 touchdowns. So he's really had quite a season. And then not too far behind him, well, a little bit, but Keenan Allen is the number 28th ranked wide receiver. He's been around like a long time. And like I said, he's about to go over 1,000 receptions in his career. He's got 24 so far receptions for 231 yards right now. Now, he's much more the shorter pass type receiver. He's been averaging 9.6 yards per reception, whereas Quentin Johnston's been averaging 15.3. So that explains how Quentin Johnston can have 2 fewer catches, but 100 more yards. And then you do get McConkey, but McConkey is only the 57th ranked will make that 56th ranked wide receiver in the NFL. He's got 16 receptions for 174 yards. So he's been really the third option for this team as far as that goes. None of their tight ends rank anywhere near the top 100. So as far as that goes, it's not somebody they're really throwing the ball to, or even their wide receivers. None of them are ranking up that high. All right. Now looking at the Commanders, though, for them, you've got Deebo Samuel right now is the leading receiver. He's got 22 receptions for 204 yards, 2 touchdowns so far. He's been the guy, especially since McLaurin's been out, and he'll have to be the guy again this weekend, because after that, you get a big drop down to Zach Ertz, their tight end, who is the 72nd ranked receiver so far. He's got 14 catches for 149 yards. So really, they are hurting as far as receivers go in this game. All right. That's a look at some of the players on the team. Now, looking at the game, who will win this game? Well, I got to say that I do pick the Chargers to win. Primarily, it's in Los Angeles, the Commanders. You have a favor, not only that your home team, but the other person has to travel all the way across the country. The Chargers are favored by 2.5 points, so it's a close game, according to the odds makers. But I am going to pick the Los Angeles Chargers to win this game over the Washington Commanders. All right, that is a wrap for this episode. I kind of think I liked it a little bit better to just talk about the players and how they're doing as far as their teams go. You can see this podcast on YouTube or listen to it in audio version only on YouTube at Just the Stats NFL. You can also find the podcast on Apple or Spotify or other podcast apps. And if you want to contact me, you can do it at justthestatsnfl@gmail.com. Appreciate you listening. Hope you liked it. And comments are always welcome. And also, if you have any questions, you can push them my way. All right. I'm off to my next podcast. I'm out of here.